Safety first. Whether you're exploring breathtaking landscapes or navigating new cities, your safety and security are always top priority on the road. In today's video of Road Ready, we're diving into the essential safety features and security measures every nomad needs to protect themselves and their vehicle. Let's get road ready. Hi, I'm Katina with Gypsy Wander, your trusted guide to living full-time on the road. And today I'm joined again by Becky Witt, expert mechanic and owner of George Witt Automotive in Lincoln, Nebraska. Together, we've covered everything from basic car maintenance and breakdowns to handling flat tires. And now we're wrapping up the Road Ready series with a critical topic, safety and security. Wow, 6 episodes already. It's been such a fun ride, but we're ending on one of the most important topics for solo travelers, how to keep your vehicle and yourself safe on the road. Now, Becky, as we know, safety can be a huge concern for solo female travelers, from being prepared for emergencies to ensuring our vans are secure when we're parked overnight, and it's all about staying proactive. So let's start with some of the top security measures we should be thinking about with our vehicles.
So, security tips. You got a remote for your car?
I do not. I have a key fob that just unlocks and locks and
Okay.
sounds
So, here's the deal. When you are camped, you never leave the keys in the ignition,
okay,
ever.
right?
Because anybody gets in, you're a hostage, you're gone. That's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is you should check and see, does your panic feature work if you're inside the car?
Oh, it might not work if you're inside the car.
Well, some of them don't, because they go, well, you're inside the car, you dumbass. You can't do this.
You know, that's one of my safety things is I thought I can always press the panic button, but I don't know
You
if
don't
it
know
will
until
work.
you test this thing.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, I work with all cars every day, and I have some interesting experiences.
Yeah.
And one of them, I have 2 keys for my car, and the first one tells the computer who it is, and the second one tells the computer that I'm somebody else. So my car, being fancy, will set the seat
Mm-hmm.
and the mirrors for driver 1
Based on your key fob.
based on the key fob, and then driver 2 gets in, and it changes the
Yep.
mirrors and the seat and all that stuff. So if I've got the key in the ignition for driver 1, and I pull out the key for driver 2, and I want to open the trunk, it won't open.
Oh,
You dumbass, you're inside. You can't. You hit the button, won't work.
yeah.
So these are just things to be aware of. Try things out. When you feel threatened is not the time
Right.
to try things out.
Right.
Even when I'm inside my house and I hear something funny going on, I can hit the panic and I can start my car making noise
Uh-huh.
and draw attention
Right.
and repel whoever it is.
Right.
These are things that would be helpful to know that you can do. Now, the next thing is we got keyless cars now,
Yes.
all right? So you should have, I forget the name of what they call it, but it's a pouch that blocks signals.
Okay. It
Uh,
says the pouch that you put where?
Well, it's a little pouch that you put your keys in,
Okay.
and a Faraday. It's a Faraday bag,
Okay.
because a lot of people now have credit cards that you scan. If someone is in close proximity, they can pick up the transmission from that card and use that card now.
Yes. So you have the RDIF blockers
Right.
for your credit cards. This
Yes.
is kind of the same thing
Same
for
thing
your
for
key fob.
For your key fob.
Because now my car is old enough that I don't have keyless entry. I can't start my car with the push of a button,
Right.
but my mom can walk up to her car and it just automatically unlocks.
That's right.
But somebody could steal that signal and walk up to your car and it unlocks.
Exactly. And they can steal your signal too.
Even
because-
though mine's not.
Does yours unlock the car?
It does.
Okay, how does it do that? With a signal?
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess they could steal that signal. If I can use the signal, they can use the signal. Yeah.
Okay.
So, we're alone. We don't have any friends nearby. We got to do everything we can to protect ourselves. You should have some way to take whatever your key is and put it in a bag, a Faraday bag or something, to block signals.
And you carry it around like that then always?
Well, it really depends. It probably would be a great idea to have a bag that you put your keys in.
And you don't see a lot of people doing that, but we are primarily women living nomadically. We're in different locations and we want to be as safe as we can. So for us, having it in that bag all the time, even when we don't have keyless entry, I just have a fob that I can press a button, even in that situation.
Here's the deal. If we're going to be safe, we have to be safe 100% of the time.
Yes.
We screw up one time and we're toast.
Yes.
Okay? The bad guy only needs to succeed one time out of 100.
Right.
So we have to be right 100% of the time. They only have to be right 1% of the time.
Right. Good point.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you do have the keyless operation, you run your battery dead.
How?
Well, because the car says, Mom's here.
When you're near your car, your battery is...
Yeah, you're in the car. Mom's here. I got to be ready to go. So your car is keyless, is constantly sending out a signal, looking for Mom. Your key is sending out a signal, looking for the car. So anybody, you can go on the internet and you can buy the tools to intercept these signals.
Oh my goodness.
And drive away. This is how cars get stolen today. And so from your bedroom at home in a house, you need to put that thing in a Faraday bag to block the signal. Because otherwise, somebody can stand outside your bedroom window, pick up the signal, replicate it, drive away your car.
And, we try and do our best to not let people know. I do a lot of stealth camping in cities, and I don't want people to know that I live in my van or that I have. Sure. If somebody knows you're living in your van, they assume that you have valuables.
Yep.
And so we're more at risk for those things happening. And this is one way we can keep ourselves safe.
Yep.
Any other safety or security ideas you have? What about steering wheel locks? Are those a good option? Are they anything other than showing somebody that you are serious about securing your car and it may be a deterrent for them?
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea at all. I had years ago, I had one. It's called a crook lock.
Was it?
A crook lock.
Okay.
And it just went on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And had this long bar that made it, hard to turn a corner.
Well, with it on there, it'd be hard to turn a corner.
The whole idea is that thieves are they're people of opportunity.
Right.
They're lazy. If they had any brains, any motivation, they'd have a job. The best thing is, number one, lock the car.
Yeah.
And number two, if there's anything else you can do to make it more difficult, do that.
Right.
We're going to talk about your windshield wiper blades. I said that your wipers, when you've used the washers or you've used the wipers and you've shut everything off and the windshield dries, it should be crystal clear clean. There should be no streaks. That's how you know you got good wipers on your car.
Okay.
If there's any spots that you're going into the sun and it's hard to see, you're blinded. That means you need new wipers. The next thing is the inside of the glass. This is the most frequently overlooked thing because it's a pain. Nobody wants to lay on your side and try to get it clean. So the product you use is very important. This is Sprayway brand. I know that this is sold at most auto parts stores in my area. This is what GM glass cleaner is made of. So if you can't find the Sprayway brand, maybe GM glass cleaner would work. You spray a light film of this on, use a microfiber towel, and then you wipe it off, and then you flip the towel over, you use a dry side to finish.
Okay.
So there'll be some little streaky stuff, and then you dry wipe it, and that usually one application will make the inside of your glass really clean.
Okay.
And once you've driven with really clean glass, you never want to do anything else again. It's like, this is why we buy new cars. We go, really? The cars, whoa, can I see? And the side mirrors, when the inside of the glass is clean, you're less likely to fog up. It's going to clear easily. The moisture will condense on stuff, on film. So when the film's gone and it's just plain glass, it's harder for the moisture to condense on that.
That's an important thing to know, because when we are sleeping in our van, we're breathing.
Yep.
And if it's cold outside, and it doesn't even have to be super cold, we need to leave a window cracked just to have airflow. But people have problems with the condensation.
Yep.
So this is going to help with the condensation on the inside of our window.
Absolutely.
Will we still get a little bit of condensation possibly?
Well, yeah, you're going to get it, but it should dissipate quickly. And I said to use one movement. You don't want to use too much. You don't want to make this a real thick thing. And if you have to go over it a second time, then you can just a light application. If I still got a little bit, you know. As you start to get accustomed to this, you'll find yourself getting real fussy, and you'll say, "Well, there's a little okay," and it just takes a second, just a very quick mist, and again, a microfiber towel. You can buy these at an auto parts store.
Mm-hmm.
They're available all over.
Now, if we do get condensation, are we turning on our defrost?
Thank you. That's okay. A defroster activates the air conditioner. That tends to remove moisture out of the air. You want to use the fresh air setting, not the recirc.
Okay.
If you use recirculate, now you're keeping the same air in the car, and now you're never going to get the windows to clear.
Okay, so turn on our defrost and have fresh air.
Yes.
And don't wipe anything. Don't wipe the condensation off. What's
going to happen if it's really cold outside and you got condensation, you're going to wipe it. Now it's going to make streaks because of that. I've seen cars where people wiped it off. No, it's just a smeared mess now.
Yeah.
Just be patient.
Okay.
Give it a chance. But using fresh air and actually even rolling the windows down a little bit. There's a problem in the wintertime where people put it on recirculate and they don't realize what it does. But if you leave it on recirculate, it will get so frosted, you'll never get it clean. Headlights, there's headlight kits that you can use to clean them up. The kits can be very effective. Some kits, the most effective kits have a coating that you can put back over, a polish compound, actually a little wax. Most of your polish scratch remover compounds, if you have a light film, you can use that and take the glaze off. Once they're heavily glazed, you just need new lenses, and that's the fastest way out of that.
Okay.
But this is something that you can do yourself. You can use Barkeeper's Friend if you keep some of that around. Any of the Comet. The powdered, those are a rubbing compound. They're a light abrasive.
Okay.
So there's that. So, and we're going to talk about a deer. Deer. Thank you for mentioning that. You're in the mountains or you're any place where there's a deer. We got deer here in Nebraska. And you see a deer coming out of whatever, instinctively, what are you going to do? You're going to swerve to avoid the deer.
Yep.
What's going to happen is you're either going to roll the van. You got to be real careful with the van. You got a high center of gravity. And if you're living in the van, you probably got it loaded with your stuff. You got to have your stuff, and that's going to make it more prone to tip over. So the last thing you want to do is be jerking the wheel. What you want to do is hit the deer. I'm sorry, just hit the stinking deer. As you're driving and you're touring this wonderful country of ours, you're going to see skid marks. You're going to see the skid marks that go, oh, like that. A lot of time that's from avoiding a deer or avoiding other traffic or something happens. So
we're better to just drive straight forward into the deer.
Yes. Your reflex needs to be just grab the wheel.
Why is that better than swerving to avoid it?
Would you rather roll over and crash in the ditch and catch fire and burn to death?
Because we're gonna overcorrect or whatever. We're gonna lose control.
Yeah.
Where if we hit the deer straight on,
we're going to have some damage from the deer.
Right, but we're going to be alive.
But we're not going to roll over. We're not going to go in the ditch.
Okay.
Now this is even more important to have 4 good tires on your car, because you swerve the wheel and you see the skid marks, and that means the back end's loose. Once the back end's loose, you're going for a ride. You have no more control. And you're going to roll over. You know, we don't like to think about this, but when a vehicle rolls over, you're shaken up with everything that's inside of there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a cooler full of stuff.
Yeah.
How about getting whacked with that cooler 42 times?
Yeah.
As you're rolling over.
Yeah.
This is really ugly. Yeah, you hit the deer. maybe you get damaged and have to be towed in, but it can be fixed.
Right.
You roll the car over, usually you can't fix that.
Right.
Then we'll go further than that, because after I had this experience, I've had cargo fall off a truck.
Not your truck, but
No, I'm your truck in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, truck in front of you. Yeah. Well, these flatbed trucks, they carry boards. So they have to do this or that, and I've had a board roll off. Yeah, this wide. You're not going to steer around that.
Right.
Hang on, run over it.
Okay.
Whatever it is, just your reflex needs to be. You need to think about this.
Right.
Because we don't think about reflexes.
Right.
We just instinctive, boom, that's what we do. So you need to just grip the wheel and hang on.
And the best time to think about these things are before they happen.
Well,
so as long as we've thought through, okay, if we see a deer, if something flies off of a truck, we just hang on and drive straight. Don't, when you try and overcorrect or swerve, you can put yourself in more dangerous situations.
You can hit the brakes, let off the gas, hit the brakes.
I hope this series helps you feel more secure and ready for the road on your travels. If you missed any of our previous videos in the series, be sure to check them out for all our car care tips that you need to know to stay safe and road ready. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and a huge thanks to Becky Witt for all her expert advice. Share this video series with others you think would benefit from being road ready. Until next time, stay wild and free.